Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So this morning I was watching the Today Show, and they had this story about this brother who was harassed by a white woman and who was harassed by the police. So here's the situation. This brother was babysitting two white kids. He's an African American. He's watching these two white kids. They go to Walmart, and as they leave, this white woman talks to him and these children. This white woman assumes that the situation is suspect. She assumes that he's some kind of criminal, that he's kidnapped these kids just because he's black and these kids are white. So she proceeds to ask these children if they are all right, and she wants to talk to them. The brother decides that he's not going to let this strange woman talk to these kids, so he leaves and he goes to a gas station, and this woman follows him to this gas station. Not only does this woman continue to follow him, this woman calls the police on his brother. So the Cobb County Police come there, and again, this happened in Marietta, Georgia. The Cobb County Police arrive. They stop this brother. They question the kids, and the officer asks to contact the parents. So he contacts the parents, and he confirms that this brother is watching these kids, that he is babysitting these kids. And this is a brother who happens to have a youth mentoring program where most of the clientele is predominantly white. So you had his brother basically being stopped for babysitting while black. And it's like black people can't do anything while black. We can't shop while black. We can't drive while black. We can't barbecue while black. Everything. We can't even wait in Starbucks while black without being harassed by ignorant, racist people. And a lot of people make assumptions. This brother was watching these kids. These kids had every right to be with this brother. This brother was not kidnapping these children. And it just shows you how people automatically assume that black people are criminals. They automatically assume that because you have a black man with some white kids, something must be wrong. There has to be some kind of problem there. That's what happens constantly, man. And, this fails to take into account that you have situations like this where you have a black man watching some white kids. This happens a lot with black women. There are plenty of black women that babysit white children. And we know about that through history. It was black women that basically raised these white kids, took care of these white kids. So this is not something unusual. Then you also have the situation where you have blended families. Although I support black love, you have situations where, for instance, a black man is in a relationship with a white woman, and he has she may have had kids from a prior relationship, and those kids happen to be with the black man. That brother should not be stopped and harassed under those kind of circumstances. People shouldn't assume that this brother is some kind of kidnapper or some kind of criminal. In that particular situation, the brother had every right to be with those kids. He shouldn't be subjected to scrutiny and harassment simply for having white kids in his presence. You also had a situation with interracial relationships, for instance, where you may have a brother with some biracial children who look like they are white, and people may assume that brother is with some children that are not his. And, I just think that this is just another example of prejudice in our society, another example of racism in our society, and another reminder that we are not in a post-racial society. So tell me what y'all think. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. I will leave a link in the description box to this story. Peace.